Welcome back. I'm Tasmai Laharoy and you're tuned into Storyboard 18. I will just add a follow-up question to that, the three-tier grievance mechanism and the IT rules that have put everything in place. There is a structure. And of what we know in the last few years, months, there hasn't been too many complaints that has reached the third tier of grievance, right? But still we see advisories from the ministry coming up, and there have been some complaints on obscene content or content which is not up to the mark and tastes of what Indian consumers should consume. So according to you, if you have to give out some tips, so that there is a perfect self regulatory model, that ensures creative freedom and also lives up to the standards of the content we want to put out there, what would those be?
I think the program code, the advertising code, they themselves are guidelines on what the proper programming should be. And going beyond that would be actually prescriptive, and we should not be doing that. But definitely the kind of advisories which we give occasionally, and as we have seen, let's say in Manipur when the violence was happening, then we should not really be showing dead bodies or something, or people being killed, or that sort of violence which can incite more of violence. So those things need to be avoided anywhere they are. Then we find that crime or people, that sort of thing gets much more TRP probably, and maybe much more attention. And showing children being beaten or women being beaten and all that, and without that really, it's not really a very good thing for TV to be showing. Of course, it is finally the TV channels which have to decide, and that is why we feel that these content evaluation committees would be more useful. They can act as a self-check. And in fact, in this new bill, we are also suggesting a broadcast advisory council at the ministry level also, which will be comprised of outsiders. Today, these days there has been some criticism that at the ministry level it is a committee of joint secretaries which take a decision. Of course, there are outsiders in that. There are representatives from the Bar Council. There are representatives of women also. But this would be more broad-based, and probably your decisions will be more broad-based.
Perfect. There is one last concern that we would like to bring up. There has been a lot of communication and conversation around a fair share of revenues with big tech, right, and digital news publishers. MIB has also been trying to initiate conversations alongside MeitY also. So are there any ongoing conversations and communications that you're having with digital news publishers as well as big tech, so that there is fair share of revenue and everybody is working towards a more sustainable industry that is also profitable?
Yes, we have had discussions with the digital news publishers as well as some of the intermediaries. And the issue is there because some solutions have been found in countries like Australia, EU, Canada. There some things have happened. Here also I am told that the case is going on at the Competition Commission, which is under investigation. And there are two opinions, whether we wait for the Competition Commission and to come out with a regulation and then go along with that, the findings of the Competition Commission, or we come out with our own act. So I think those deliberations are going on.
Perfect. On to some forward-looking questions. We would really want to know how the industry is working or collaborating more with stakeholders to ensure more communication, transparency, and of course promoting sustainable growth for the broadcast landscape in India.
The industry, of course, transparency is the sine qua non of any good programming, and the industry, of course, is coming out with new programming, taking into account the consumer taste. And as you yourself have said, that the consumer tastes have changed over the past 2 years, so the industry itself is evolving. And I think OTT also has had an influence, because the quantum of content which is being created these days is so huge. I think it has multiplied many-fold over the past 2-3 years post-COVID. And in fact, people tell me that now it is difficult to find talent also, because everybody has so much of work. And in fact, we are quite happy that these things are happening. We want to promote India also as a content hub, and for that also ministry is taking actions. We have come out with a very good incentive policy, and after discussions with a lot of people, including the Motion Picture Association of America and others, we are proposing to increase the incentive even further so that some marquee films can come and make in India. And we are also promoting the animation, visual effects, gaming and comics, AVGC what we call, that also through incentives which are very attractive, and we have a lot of manpower which is involved in AVGC. Visual effects, lot of post-production of foreign films is done there, and through our incentives we feel that it can be increased much more. Animation can also become a hub here.
Perfect. And conclusively, you know, we have covered half of the financial year and we are left with another half. So, if we have to say the top 3 focus areas for the ministry right now, what would those be?
We are of course working on this broadcasting bill, then we are also working on the FM. There are some changes which we want to bring in the FM guidelines. Then the TRAI has recommended on DTH also. DTH there has been recommendations, so to take those recommendations forward, FM we want to conduct the next round of auctions after making some changes. Then the animation, visual effect, gaming, comic, AVGC policy, that is under the anvil. It is under interministerial consultation. The National Center for Excellence of AVGC, that is again at an advanced stage. So we hope to get it through. And the incentives, as I said, if a change is to be made in the incentives, so that again is, I think, something we want to work on, and all this would be industry friendly, I can assure you.
That should be it. Thank you so much for being on Storyboard 18. It was a wonderful chat.
Thank you.